Good morning, everyone. Day one, starting near Harper's Ferry. This is Snickers Gap, Virginia, and I'm getting ready to go down a white place. I'm really excited. So I hiked out of that for just a moment, and this is a busy highway that I'm getting ready to go down. Pavement. Here it tells you to go north, and there on the pavement it tells you to go north as well. So I get to walk down this busy highway. This is great. This is what I'm hiking on. That is going north towards David Lesser Memorial Shelter. Spring sprung when I was off for a month. This is a beautiful, beautiful forest. Just so pretty. Look, it's like the Arc de Triomphe is welcoming me back to the forest. Well, thank you. I think I shall go underneath you. Oh, this forest is so pretty. Good morning, sun. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be back. You see these red cheeks? It started off raining this morning, and then it stopped and it turned into steam and a sauna. So I guess I'm going to have a facial today. Anyway, I started hiking in at Snickers Gap, Virginia, which is mile marker 1006.2, and crossed over. I'm crossing over into West Virginia at some point. Maybe I already have, I don't know. I had to cross over a major interstate highway in 7:30 traffic this morning with semis blazing by. That was a little scary, but there was finally a break in traffic, and clearly I made it because I'm here. So, Stacy and I had a really good day in Harper's Ferry yesterday. It was awesome. We just explored the little town and all the little shops. It's a historic town. And they suffered greatly during the Civil War, and so they were kind of a key player in that military action. So that was really interesting to learn some things about Harper's Ferry that I didn't know. And we ate at the Rabbit Hole. It was delicious. It was so good. It was priced reasonably. The food was delicious. Our service was good. The atmosphere was good. It was just a really nice experience. Let me tell you where not to go, because we went the night before to the, I think it's called the White Horse Tavern. Don't go there. And I'll just leave it at that. You can read whatever reviews you want to read on Yelp. I'm sharing it's probably not a good idea. I'm starting off pretty slow. Not because the terrain is that difficult, because actually this is pretty nice. And the forest bed floor is very soft, so that's nice as well. And the ascent is a slow ascent. It's not steep, very steep, so that's also good for my feet. I just want to make sure that I'm sort of testing out my feet the first day or two to see how well I can do before I start, you know, hiking a little bit faster or whatever. And I have to tell you, this trail, I don't think I've been on a trail that is marked this well, not even in Georgia. And Georgia was A+, A1, 10 stars. This place is marked exceptionally well. By the way, I put picaridin all over me before I came out in this forest this morning because I knew the mosquitoes were going to be out, and they are. They're everywhere. But not one bite so far, so yay me. And I am a mosquito smorgasbord. I'm going to have to put my hiking poles up because we have a little bit of maneuvering we've got to do to get over all those rocks and get down, down, down there. See the blaze on the tree? Well, I just crossed over into the West Virginia area. Yay! I am really happy. We're coming up to an overlook. Boy, that rock formation is pretty. And there's the blaze over there to keep going north. Wow. This is beautiful. Gosh, it is such a clear day. That's just stupendous. Oh, look, there's a house way out there. Can you imagine? Wow. Well, we are on our way. That breeze feels good. It's kind of smarmy. I don't know if you can see the haze on the camera. The forest floor is completely wet. The trees are still shedding lots of raindrops. Oh, that's a big boulder. All right. This forest floor, nice. Can I just say that scared the heck out of me? Holy cow. Well, that was unexpected. I've been paying attention for bears. I wasn't paying attention for that. Ugh. You know, that was scary, but that was pretty cool. Biodiversity and wildlife. That's part of being on the trail. Wow. You know, that's not the first time that's happened to me. When my husband and I took a vacation to, where were we? Yellowstone. We had gotten up at the crack of dawn, and we were out waiting for the sun to rise and looking for wildlife, and a wolf, a huge wolf, walked 3 feet past me. He was 3 feet from me, and he just came up and he just walked right. He looked at me with those yellow eyes and just kept walking, and it wasn't quite daylight yet. Whew. Yeah, I just froze. I didn't know what to do. He just walked right past me. So there you go. Here we go. There's the trail. There's the blaze right there. And there's a blaze up there and a sign. We'll read the sign in just a minute. Okay, let's see what this is. So I guess there's a spring down there. Maybe that's a blue blaze. Okay, but we are gonna go that way. There's the blaze right there. This is very different than the forest that I left a month ago. Wow. Look, it looks like a bird flying out of the side of the tree. Doesn't that look like a bird? Doesn't that look like a bird with his wings and his beak? Pretty cool. Well, I guess I just finished the roller coaster and I didn't even know it. And that young lady right there, her name is Lotus. Well, yay me! Hey Lotus, did you know you were on the roller coaster?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh.
That's why I kept being, I think we're about done.
So this young lady is Lotus?
Hi.
Hey, so where are you from?
Kansas originally.
Kansas?
Yes.
And where do you live now?
I am a travel nurse, so I move around a lot.
Yay!
So I do not know where I will live next.
You don't know where you'll live next.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And do you mind sharing how old you are?
I actually just had my birthday. My birthday was on the 4th of May. I just turned 34.
34. Happy birthday
Thank
for
you.
you. And how did you get your trail name?
I got it from some friends down in southern Utah. Do you know how lotus flowers grow?
I did, in the water,
They
right?
grow in the water, but they have to have muddy and mucky conditions. They have to struggle up through the mud and the muck in order for them to bloom. And that's how I got my name. Always end up kind of muddy.
Okay, so let's see that again. There you go.
There's the name.
Thank you for letting me interview
Yes,
you.
absolutely. Have a good day.
Look at this trail. Cowabunga! This is easy. Well, I still have to watch for rocks, but yay! That little Lotus, she was cute. Gosh, this is pretty. Look at this. This is the best trail. Well, yippee-ki-yay! Woo! Look at these little flowers. Aren't they pretty? Woo! Gracie, A.T. Gracie, I'm thinking of you right now. I just finished listening to He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. No, you're not my brother, but if you listen to the words to that song, I think they're appropriate. See how red these cheeks are? One of the reasons I skipped Virginia was because it was going to be hot. That didn't work. I did miss the bubble though, and norovirus. So, yay for that. I don't regret it. I'm going to go back and do Virginia. Y'all just wait and see. I am so happy this morning. Happy, happy, happy. Hey, Judith. Stacy and I were shopping yesterday, and we went into an old-time historic candy store. You know what they had? Black licorice jelly beans. Stacy said, why don't you get those for Judith? I went, I am not getting those. They're black licorice. She said, they're not for you. Guess what's coming to you soon? As soon as I get your address. Yeah. Roland, I'm thinking about you this morning too. You're the best big brother ever. And I love you. And to my husband, gotta tell you, I cried my eyeballs out when he dropped me off at the trail this morning. It was all I could do to keep from crying in the car on the way to the trailhead. I got out of that car, put that backpack on. I started crying. I couldn't help it. I think I cried for about 2 miles. I love you, honey. Thank you so much for bringing me up here and for dropping me off the trailhead this morning. I appreciate it. You are the best support system in the entire universe, and I am so blessed to have you. Thank you for being so special and wonderful. We are 6 miles in, and we've come to Wilson Gap. So, I promised Stacy that when I was 5 or 6 miles in that I would sit down and take a rest. So I am laying on a rock, looking up at the trees and the clouds and the wind going through the leaves. It's very peaceful. Here I am, honey. I promised you I'd rest my feet. That's what I'm doing. Okay. He rattled. I stopped. I backed up. He is about 4 foot long and about 2 inches around. Oh my gosh. This has been an eventful day. You just take your time. I'll stand here and unless you come this direction, That is the first time I have seen a rattlesnake in the wild. Holy schmoly. Have a good day, buddy. Jeez. I keep looking for bear because there's been bear sightings. But, oh, God, that scared me. Okay. Y'all know I'm afraid of snakes, right? Okay. And that right there is a perfect example of why you don't have both headphones in when you're walking. Because if I'd have had both of them in, as loud as my music is, or even not, I wouldn't have heard his rattle. That was scary. He was only 4 feet from me. He just rattled at one little and then he stopped, and it was enough for me to stop and kind of look around, and then I saw him moving like 3-4 feet from my feet. I don't know why he didn't strike me, but I guess he had other things on the menu that seemed more appetizing. Okay, we're coming up on a blue blaze. I'm looking for snakes. See what the sign says. Oh, Blackburn Trail Center. You can camp there. That's going south. Typically I take you all down to show you those things, but I need to conserve my feet, and so this is a pretty long day for me, 11 miles for my first day back out, so we'll just skip that today. Okay, what sign is this? Oh, there's one over here. the Pinot or Reno. What does that say? Is that an R or a P? It's an R. Rent. R-I-N-D-T. Rent Trail. Okay. What does this sign say? Oh, I guess there's 2 different ways to get to the Blackburn Trail Center. The one I showed you before and this one. Okay. But we're going to go back on north this direction. We have 3.5 more miles to go. I get to walk on a boardwalk. How about that? They must get really mushy, boggy, muddy rain in this area. Oh, this keeps going. Okay, that's where it ends. The ground here is very sandy and dark brown. See, it's almost black. This is a decaying tree. That's nature doing its job. Putting nourishment back in the soil. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all that red. Cool. Maybe someone can tell me what these little beauties are. They have little flowers underneath them. I don't smell any fragrance, but I've just come into groves and groves of them. You hear that snake? It's right in the middle of the trail. That's the second one today. And he has got a long rattle. He is mad. Well, I'm not going anywhere because I'd like to keep my O positive blood. Holy crap. Well, okay. You calm down. Jeez. I'm 3/4 of a mile from the shelter. Oh, God. Well, I guess it's a standoff. He's gonna win. I can't get around him. Oh, God. Let's see what this sign says. We should be coming up to the shelter. Yep, David Lesser's Shelter Spring. Well, 1 coyote or fox, 2 rattlesnakes, and the roller coaster. And 11 miles. That's been my day. I'm getting ready to come up on the shelter. I still haven't gotten over that snake. That was a little too close for comfort. Wow, this is pretty. This is the shelter. It's very nice. It's in memory of David Lesser. It's very clean. There's not a ton of graffiti in here. They have a really nice, that's my setup. They have a really nice hiker box right there. Well, that's not a hiker box. It's where they have the notebook for you to sign. And there's a gentleman staying here whose name is Prophet, and he has gone down to get water. It's a really nice bench. Same here. And you can sit here and you can watch the deer down there. There have been 3 or 4 that have just been roaming about. Prophet went down to go get water. I had already gone. It's a 1/4 of a mile to go down, and it's a very steep hill. They have a beautiful little picnic area over here. Table, they've got a fire ring, and they've got this rocking chair, this rocking swing. I was sitting in that when I ate my dinner. And then their bear hang, I've never seen one of these before. That is their bear hang. That's my bear bag up there. And you just use that pole that's right next to it to lift it up and put it up on one of those rings. That's interesting. Yeah. Hey, Prophet. I'm introducing you to YouTube. Hey, where are you from?
Hanover, New Hampshire.
Hanover, New Hampshire.
This is Prophet.
And how far did you hike today?
20-something miles.
I think he told me earlier 21 miles.
Somewhere between 21 and 50, it seems like.
Okay, well, and so you are planning on trying to hike to Katahdin, aren't you? I know you said one day at a time.
The Lord willing, I'll be up on Katahdin in July.
Okay. All right, so this is Blacksburg. Says he is from, where did you say?
Blacksburg, Virginia.
Blacksburg, Virginia. And he just had a birthday. He turned 60. And his wife comes and brings him food every 4 days or so.
14, for a couple weeks, 14 days.
That is so cool.
And then she's been following me up the trail ever since Amicalola.
Since Amicalola?
Yeah.
Is she going to go all the way up to Maine?
Well, it's getting a little far now. The drive's getting a little bit further, but I got a daughter in Massachusetts, so I'm sure she'll take advantage of that.
Good for you.
So it's been pretty good, and it's good motivation to see her, recharge my batteries to go some extra miles and stuff.
That's sweet. That's really sweet. So when did you start hiking?
February 13th. So I'm coming up on 3 months at the halfway point.
Okay, and did you start from Amicalola or Springer?
Amicalola.
You did?
And then my goal is 6 months-ish, so I'm sort of on target, I guess.
Well, good. And so he was just sharing that he saw a baby cub bear, and that the mama was not too happy with him.
Yeah, so I was in my tent, and there was a cub in the area, and the mom was in the woods, and so I went outside in the dark, and the mama started snorting, which is their sign of stay out of my area. Mm-hmm. And so I have a whistle, and I clicked my pole and stuff, made some noise, and then I went back in my tent, and she stayed in the woods as far as I know the rest of the night, and I stayed in my tent, and everything was fine.
Okay, all right. And so what advice would you give hikers? What is the 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you would give someone that wants to hike?
Well, they say a lot. Start slow, I think, is a good one. And then really mentally, I look at it 4 days out, 3 or 4 days out, where the next resupply or next town is, and I try not to look too much further than that. And I tell everybody it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy. You look out for water, food, and shelter every day when you wake up. If you got that covered, then things will be sunny for you the rest of the day.
I think that's really good advice. That's super, super wonderful advice.
Yeah.
And Prophet, what is your advice? What's your 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you'd like to share?
Well, I'd say the number one thing is to be flexible, because conditions are constantly in flux, and you need to be able to adjust to mileage, weather, your attitude. You just need to be flexible.
That's really good.
And I only plan for today. I'm only concerned about today. Tomorrow, there's enough for me to deal with there when it gets here. But today, I'm just focused on today.
Is that philosophy based on something?
It's based on me.
Is it based on
Just
scripture?
me, just my experience out here.
Okay, all right. There's a scripture that says, "Do not worry about tomorrow, because you do not know what a day may bring forth."
There's enough to deal with today without bringing tomorrow into the picture.
Well, thank you all. Thank you all for sharing. I appreciate it.